emotional, so you'll forgive me, please, if I stumble. My dearest sisters and brothers, we're gathered today to bury SB5, who through an inherited gene met its early demise. It died young. When in its infancy, it showed such promise. It was destined for greatness. It was going to go down in history as the bill that snuffed out the middle class and destroyed the financial and productive lives of all public employees. It would have taken away the right to bargain for safety and protective gear for the policemen and firemen, and it was on the fast track to demean the contributions of the teachers and classified staff in the public schools of Ohio. It was going to make all the public workers pay for foolishly, expecting a level playing field, decent wages to support their families, a house, car, heat, and food. The foolish public people thought they should only have to work a 40-hour week receiving overtime pay. They felt they should pay a portion of their health insurance premium based on their income and contributions to the employer for which they worked. They even wanted job security for honoring their length and loyalty of service. And if SB5 or its family decided they did not like the way that you public employee parted their hair or the tone of their voice, or they wanted to hire their brother, the public employee had the audacity to expect the employer to give a just cause reason for reprimand or termination. The public employee wanted to have a neutral party to determine who was right and who was wrong. How disgusting and un-American is that? And if you're a union public employee, you're an un-American thug. And finally, we want to retire the fruits of their labor and expect their employer to contribute this retirement income for all the years they did their jobs. These public people even admitted when confronted they could not show the widgets they made or the monies the employer made off these widgets. Public people laughingly expected to have their services counted as being productive. They used children that could read and write. They used doctors, nurses, lawyers, and scientists that are destined to save the world, and even the good, decent people that passed through their hands and became productive. Hard-working, tax-paying citizens as an example of their services. They tried to point out the lives they saved, the fires they put out, the criminals they kept incarcerated as examples of their contribution to society. But SB5 saw through all this charade and would have none of this rhetoric sway it from its goal of destruction. However, due to his advancing illness, SB5 was losing some of its energy and its vision started to blur. Sure, its dad, Gov Kasich, and its mom, State Senator Shannon Jones, tried everything imaginable to save its life. They lied about keeping it alive to solve the $8 billion projected deficit. They lied when accused of trying to destroy the unions. They professed to have no ulterior motive for taking away the bargaining rights of the public employee. They lied when they said the public employees' unions had been the leading factor in the deficit. They lied when they said it would bring business to Ohio and make managing the business climate easier. They even asked its uncles, the multi-billionaire Koch brothers, or better known as the Kochopus, because of their far-reaching, multifaceted issues of destruction, for more money to promote these lies, and they got it. They called all its cousins, House Bill 69 and all its companions, to gather together and propping up Senate Bill 5. They advertised in every media available for help in saving its life, but sadly all this was a study in futility. They did not understand why it was dying. Doctors Governor Scott Walker from Wisconsin, Governor Mitch Daniels from Indiana, and the whole Republican cadre of medical staff could not save it. Sadly, SB5 had inherited the deadly vindictive gene. It was difficult to determine which gene killed SB5. His mother's side had stupidity, lack of experience, and aspiration to bigger and better things on her side. His father had vindictiveness, loyalty to wealth and cronies, sights on the presidency, and callousness on his side. And all the relatives lying, cheating, stealing, and other dark side traits, who knows what killed SB5? We only know that we are laying SB5 to rest today because it was infected with the worst kind of terminal illness a bill like this can face. justice, perseverance, and the will of the people. Rest in peace, O little beast. Know that upon your demise, people in Ohio will again be able to educate their children and hope for the American dream. Once again, they will be a viable contributing factor in the recovery of Ohio. They will again be able to bargain for their services. They once again will have the right to withdraw the dollar from the table that they put there in the first place. They will no longer suffer the fate of the indentured servant. Oh, we want to apologize for not bearing you under the roof of the Koch brothers buildings, but since you probably use scab labor and refuse to pay prevailing wage, we are afraid those facilities would collapse, burn down, or become waterlogged. We were going to write a really nice epitaph, but we went to charter schools and we could not afford the fee, so we never learned to read and write properly. We were lucky to even get here since Ohio no longer has transportation or safe roads on which to travel. Oh, I'm sorry. That was if Senate Bill 5 had lived. In my grief, I almost forgot. Union people, both public and private, and non-union decent Ohioans solved this issue. So I guess it's good riddance to bad rubbish moment. If you'll excuse me, I must go grieve. And does anybody play a piano here? I'd like to hear a few bars of Look for the Union Label, Union Made and Mighty Mighty Union.